Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video we want to take a look at the Pokemon of the hour. I would assume you're going to see very likely a few showcases on YouTube, not from me but from other creators as well over the next few days, because Swalot is the Pokemon that most people are currently talking about. Which seems a bit weird, right? How many did you encounter in the first week of the Go Battle League? I think I saw maybe 2, maximum. I already encountered, I think, more in the few battles that I did here right now, because people start using it more. And of course, I started using it. What is the reason? Honestly, I didn't think a lot about this Pokemon at all. Like, it has Mudshot, which got nerfed recently. It has Sludge, which is a very strong move. Don't get me wrong, it's a very strong move, but it seems like there are gonna be some better poison type that can use this move, right? Like Galarian Weezing, for example. So why Swalot? Like A, it looks really cool, like look at this mustache. But B, maybe the coverage, Ice Beam. But I think the main point is not the mustache or Ice Beam, I think it is the pure bulk. This Pokemon is insanely bulky. And why do people all of a sudden talk about this Pokemon so much? This has to do with the last regional. And yeah, we had a regional winner with this Pokemon. And he was not the only one who was using it. Like, Nickname got up to, I think it was Stockholm, and won their, the entire thing with this Pokemon here. And by the way, also all of the other Pokemon from this team. This team is heavily inspired from, his winning team there. So shouts to you, congrats to you as well. Very cool. But also, Swalot is not something I had absolutely on my list. I had no idea that this Pokemon would even have any viability, but all of a sudden, even in the day 1 stats, it was already in the top 12 most used Pokemon, and at the end of the day, it won the entire thing, which was quite a new thing for me as well. So let's maybe talk about why Swalot is so strong. The main reason why it's so strong is it is very good at being very mid. So that's at least what I would describe this Pokemon. The thing is, you won't have a really bad matchup for this Pokemon. There are not really a lot of matchups that are bad for it because you have so much different coverage. Like, literally, your type is, well, the pure poison type is actually quite solid in the current meta, I would say. Can struggle a little bit against like those, ghost type Pokemon, of course, where the poison typing is resisted. But you have still a fast move of Mudshot, which is cool against, for example, steel type Pokemon that poison types don't really want to face, or other poison type Pokemon, which is honestly one of the biggest benefits of Swalot is actually Mudshot. Having access to this fast move gonna allow you to do some super effective damage against, for example, matchups like Drapion, which is very cool. But also, like you see here already in this video as well, that Swalot is going to be such a great punching bag. Here we can just go for a charge move against the opponent as well. We were able to take the Sludge and the Night Slash quite easily. As you can see, we can even go for another Sludge, but they also button onto the Lapras. I still have to go for it. But it feels like Swalot doesn't really take any damage at all, really. Like, even here, super effective fast move from the opponent. It's not that much. And this is something that I definitely have to say about Swalot. It has a great point on where it is at. Like, it is not like the insanely bulky Pokemon, like a Bastion, which is just sitting there, though, and kind of worrying about how do I do damage. You have a Pokemon here that has a very usable typing, with just pure poison, has stab coverage that is very strong right now with Sludge, 70 damage, 440 energy, having great coverage, and having a solid fast move. And all of a sudden you get yourself basically one of the safest Pokemon to use in the current meta, which is kind of funny. Here, by the way, when you want to see the Clodsire against us, there was one game against Clodsire where I just didn't pay attention. I did do those battles while watching a movie at the same time. So yeah, sorry about this one. Maybe there was like 1 or 2 battles where I could play a bit better. But it's late for me. I still like to do those videos though in the evening. I do still like to do those videos when the league changes, because for me it's like, oh, it's kind of intriguing, or what's going to be happening now. I have to say, compared to the last time I played the meta, it did change quite a bit. Like, yeah, of course, there are some teams that are going to be always going to be viable, also like already from the beginning of the season. But there are quite a lot of teams that I just didn't really expect to see here today. That being said, this team went positive for sure for me. I think I went in a total, I'm always like to be transparent with this, of 7 and 5. I think that is how this team went. While I can say one, I guaranteed lost because I wasn't paying enough attention. I think there was a second one as well. So maybe it could have been also 9-3 if I played it the way I was supposed to play it a lot of times. That is the thing as well. That's why I feel like, well, yes, being honest about win and losses is important. I do think that a lot of times the win-loss ratio is not showing on if a team is good or not. I do think that this team is actually really, really solid. There's one matchup that I am worrying about, and I didn't see it a single time, and that is the Azumarill lead matchup. Like, that's very specific as well. Like, if, of course, Azumarill's in the back, and you lose your Swalot, then you're gonna be a bit of a difficult situation for you. You have still Sludge Bomb on the lead, and you still have Fly here on the Talonflame to do a little bit of damage, so that's that. But you're never gonna see it in Azumarill today. I don't think I faced a single one, which is interesting because currently it's like one of the most common used Pokemon also in the Show 6 Pick 3 format. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna start now going more towards the commentary. Here we are +1 with a Fly from the Talonflame. This is gonna do enough basically to get the KO against the Weezing here, and we're gonna be able to win this battle. Next opponent, our regional, I think second. I think they were in second. I'm sorry if I'm wrong with that one. I just know your name now, so sorry about that. But hopefully it's okay. I think they got second place. Anyway, like not for the last one. I think the regional before. Anyway, we're going to see here, of course, a very strong opponent. This is what I kind of want to say with that as well. We're going to be able to go for the Ice Beam, which is totally fine against their Swalot. And what we've maybe noticed so far is they had the lead of Guzzlord. They had the say-swap of Swalot. We had the lead of Guzzlord. We have the say-swap of Swalot. So, yeah, kind of funny. We have like a mirror matchup here so far, where we're gonna see if we're gonna be able to come on top of that one. We're gonna be able to get the shield. And then you're gonna be able to get the shield back because, yeah, Ice Beam is going to knock us. In comes Guzzlord. I cannot really deal that well with this Pokemon. As I have a Talonflame in the back, and so I decided to rather go for the full farm down. I thought I made a mistake here, but it turns out I didn't, because as I didn't know there yet, my search clock wasn't up yet, so like that was fine. I was like, oh, did I make a mistake here? No, I didn't. Now it's down to Drapion against us. Can we still win the battle? I am quite a bit worried, and I think I make a big mistake here, to be fair. Oh no, never mind, I actually don't. I go for the Flame Charge, that's totally fine. If I get some more damage onto them, I feel kind of comfortable. And I get another Incinerate off, which is really cool because now they are quite low. And I can even go for some Mudshot damage and wait until they go for the charge move there, because then maybe we put them into Brutal Swing range, which we still have stored. But sadly, it is gonna be very close. If I had Dragon Claw, which is maybe even better on this team, by the way, I could see that Dragon Claw Brutal Swing is better, but I don't have charge TMs. I would have won this battle with Dragon Claw for sure. Good game there. I think 1-1 so far between us, so yeah, I think that is kind of fair as well. Anyway, I'm going to see here Glisspot in the lead. It is going to be a core breaker for our lead and our closer, which is awkward then to swap out into a Say-Swap, which for us is going to be the Swalot. Why did I do this? Because it's actually not that bad for our lead and our closer, because we still do the neutral fast move damage. So as long as we keep shields, we should be kind of fine. Drapion or Drapion? Here's the cool thing about Drapion though. This Pokemon is going to have a very likely Crunch and Awkward Tail. Crunch and Awkward Tail are big friends of, yeah, Guzzlord. Yeah, this is not going to tickle it at all. We're just going to be able to get some energy here. And we're gonna leave that matchup without the Drapion and with a ton of energy to, yeah, use on that Superior. And at this point, we of course know that this game should be over. We still have our Talonflame, which I feel like didn't have any screen type yet. Did I even use Talonflame? I don't know. I most likely used Talonflame, but it feels like I don't really use this Pokemon too much so far. But here I got a free fast move in. That's why I decided to use a shield here, by the way, because I thought I could farm them down, which turns out I can. Yeah, now I can let the move go through. I have still my Talonflame. I don't know what they want to do here. I could have won this battle without showing my Talonflame most likely. So yeah, it is what it is. We sadly have to showcase our Talonflame. I think we're gonna survive it and we can move on to the next opponent. Grumpig or Grumpig, great lead force. Double resist the fast move. Dynamic Punch, super effective against us, but like Dynamic Punch from this one, like, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna two-shot, but it's not gonna one-shot. Anyway, we're gonna see another Swalot, which is something that I did not really expect. Ice Beam is coming through. That is looking alright, to be fair. We can let the move go through, and we still can go just for the Ice Beam, and I'm fairly certain this is looking really, really solid. As we will see here, the Ice Beam is going to now connect against the opponent. It's going to get the Swalot very, very low. And we can just go for the full farm down. Gaining quite a lot of energy here. We will see the Grumpy coming in. Before we can go for really a charge move, and of course it's not really worth it for us to use a shield here, as we have still our Guzzlord. Let's hop on to the Wall Rain. What I do is I just go for a charge move here just to weaken them up a little bit, which allows us now to have a bit of an easier time with Talonflame, where Talonflame can just take the hits, which, yeah, are neutral. Guzzlord definitely don't want to really get hit by any ice type damage. So they are deciding, yeah, maybe to let this Flame Charge knock them out, but no, they don't. They still have one more shield left. We still have two more shields left. And I'm going to take use of those shields because we can easily get rid of the Talonflame with the Incinerate. They go into the Grumpig. We are going to go ahead and go for a hard-hitting charge move here as well. They decide to use a shield. We can go back into our Guzzlord, and I would take a hit here, but was it worth it? I don't think I was worth taking a Dynamic Punch from a Grumpig, and so we rather decide to use a shield, go for a charge move, say goodbye to the Piggy, and yeah, the Wall Rain is gonna go down here. Next up, third to last battle. I don't think that's how you say it. Anyway, we're going to see the Sableye against Cinderly. That's going to be a matchup that we are going to have a solid matchup against, and as I said before, Swalot is kind of common nowadays, and you have to be kind of prepared for this Pokemon. And honestly, it feels like that maybe ground Pokemon are going to get a bit more better again because they can deal with this Pokemon. Even though then ground type Pokemon have the weakness to ice, and this is like the one thing about Swalot. It has the very solid coverage against basically everything, which is kind of mad. So here we're going to have the Ice Beam coming through. This is going to allow us to get the opponent really, really low. We can go for the full farm down. Both sides still have shields. We have switch advantage, and we're going to see that the opponent's going to overfarm by quite a bit onto the Sableye, which is a very smart move because they can go for the full farm down and don't really have anything to answer it directly. I can though go ahead and go into our Guzzlord. I use a shield on a potential Dazzling Gleam, which is coming through. They're going to have a Clodsire on the back, and oh, I think this was the game where I just didn't pay attention. I do think this was the game, but let's see. We're going to have the Burst Swing coming in. Everything is fine so far. Like, everything is totally fine. I thought this was a Sludge Bomb. It was an Earthquake, apparently. I do think this was the battle. It could be a different one as well, but there was one time where I definitely didn't shield up a move on a Clodsire where I definitely should have shielded up the move, but we're going to be able to go for a charge move here. This would mostly knock them out, so let's see what they're going to do. They decide to use a shield here. I go now into our Talonflame, and I do think I'm actually going to be fine here. That's how we will, yeah, should have used the shield. I only saw the Earthquake. I thought I saw the Sludge Bomb before, and that was my mistake there. If I used the shield there, I would have won most likely straight away. That's what I mean. Like, if things just work out just the tiniest bit different, I would have been even better with this team. I would have even had more wins with this team. Partly due to my own mistakes though, partly due to lack of concentration or something on it. It's also always very late here when we have to do this, when we have like the league change, which I don't really like, but of course, like, league change is going to be a global event. Like, it's something that happens everywhere at the same time, because otherwise people will not find opponents. And so, like, there's not really something that we could change about that. Because if I have like the league change at like a more reasonable time, someone else doesn't. And so, like, it is what it is. We will see here the Swamp coming in, by the way, against us. We're going to be able to go for an Ice Beam still, which is going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent, because there's no way in hell that they're going to let the move go through. Now it's down to Guzzy, or is it? I'm going to sacrifice Guzzlord while hoping that my Talonflame is going to be able to win us this battle. We have a shield advantage, but we also are facing down a Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is not really known for being a nice Pokemon to deal against. It's more known to be like the most annoying tank Pokemon you can deal with currently. And I am terrified of this Pokemon because I feel like every single time I play Mandibuzz in the Open Great League format, it's not doing that great unless it's Air Slash and try to counter like Fighting type Pokemon. But a lot of times against me, Mandibuzz is one of the most trickiest Pokemon for me to deal with. So shout out to the opponent for bringing this one, because it didn't really help them. Because what we can do now is we're going to be able to use a shield now, and the Swampert is going to go down. Final battle here. We're going to have the Pangoro in the lead. We saw that thing that matchup earlier on already. Yeah, we decided to swap out here into our Swalot, which is going to be able to take the Night Slashes. I don't think there's really anything wrong with it. They get the attack boost, and keep this in mind, by the way. They got the attack boost and basically stopped out immediately afterwards. We're going to see here the Lapras coming in with the bow tie. Very, very stylish. Love that one. That is a very difficult one to get though, I think. But yeah, good job there. Well done. we will see that we are going to use a... Let's see if we want to use a shield. We use a shield here. Sparkling area coming through. We can go for another charge move. That's perfect. This is going to allow us to get the opponent's shield there up. We're going to stop out into the Gustload, go for another charge move, which is very going to cause the next shield here to come up. And with this, they're going to be shieldless. We are going to be also, I think, shieldless after this shield here. It's going to be the Ice Beam from the opponent. Yes, we are. And the Pangoro comes back in. It's a bit tricky because now Pangoro is going to be able to go for close combat here, but they still have energy, and so I'm quite a bit scared. They're going to go definitely just for the Night Slash here, which is fine. But they're going to get the, again, completely unnecessary Omni boost on this Pokemon. Like, not the Omni boost, the double booster on this Pokemon, which is hilarious. And yeah, as you're going to see here, we're just going to be able to fully farm them down. And this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to, hopefully have some very nice content tomorrow. There's a new Pokemon being released, so definitely stay tuned for this. And I will see you then. Bye-bye.